Alrighty, hello everybody, it's OKUI again for another Elden Ring Remembrance boss ranking video, but this time I'll be ranking them by difficulty. So I know that this is kind of redundant because I've already done another ranking video on these guys before, but this is like that was for how much I liked them, from like a quality perspective. But this tier list, this video is going to be based on how difficult I think they are, and I'll be like going over some hot takes, I guess you could say, or like some reasons why I think some bosses like get more hate than they do, or why some bosses should get more hate than they do currently. So yeah, so I'll be just going over kind of like the mechanical aspects of these bosses as well. I mean, it's this video is not just gonna be like, oh, big number, big damage mean boss hit harder, therefore boss more hard. No, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, how many combos can this boss do? How many mix-ups can they do? How many how can they transition from one combo to another? And like, do they have input reading, all that stuff. So yeah, with all that being said, we have these 6 tiers, and credits to this person who made this tier list. So with all that said, let's begin by starting off with the toughest, who is gonna be Promised Consort Radahn, to nobody's surprise. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be probably talking about him the most. So okay, brace yourselves. So I know that recently there's been a lot of hate around this boss, and I mean, I kind of get a lot of the points that people have been making there, but I also disagree with some of them. So do I think he's do I think that he's a bad boss or not? No, not in the slightest. I consider him to be like excellent, nearly perfect. Maybe perfect is maybe that's going a bit too far. But like, yeah, I consider him to be a really well-rounded, excellent boss. But he has a lot of issues, and I'll talk about them here. So, phase 1, it's pretty basic, I'll say. Like, yeah, I'll say his learning curve is probably, smaller than someone like Messmer or Rellana, because his attacks in phase 1 really aren't anything to write home about. Like, you can get through, or you can like learn most of phase 1 in like an hour, or say. If you're like, if you've been fighting other humanoid bosses in Souls games before, this shouldn't be that hard for you. Phase 2, yeah, that's when things get kind of annoying. So okay, so the holy light beams that he calls down with like every attack that he does, that forces you to make your rolls more precise. And the thing is, if you like roll in like in a bad direction, let's say, like if you're in the way of those projections, you'll get clipped by them. And what really sucks about that is that the damage isn't the bad part. The damage is whatever. It's like the light beams stun lock you, and that leaves it open for Radahn to like hit you with another part of his combo, which can be really fucking detrimental, because this guy hits like a truck. So you really do not want to get stun locked by those light projections. And the other thing is like some of the clone attacks that he does, those require like you to be kind of very those require you to be very fast in terms of reaction, because like as soon as you know that they're coming down, you have to like sprint back, or like just kind of strafe to left or right, or like just spam roll, because they also stun lock you, but they don't do damage, but they stun lock you, which leaves it open for the real Radahn to come down and just fuck you up with another combo. So yeah, I think these are these I can see the direction that they were going with these like kind of restricted attacks, I should say. But like, I really don't like how it makes the fight more restrictive. Like, I mean, this is a problem I have with this fight overall, because I feel like Radahn is just way too tanky, and he has 120 poise, which is insane compared to like other humanoid bosses. And that's not the worst part. Is that I think his poise recovery time, like the time after which his poise starts regenerating, is like 6 seconds, which is insane, because this guy has like 10-second long combos, which is like the Light of Mikola, which he does at the beginning, or like many of his other like stalling combos. So poise breaking him is very, very hard. And I think phase 1 is fine. I really, really like phase 1, but phase 2, it just makes the fight tedious and way too long, to the point where it just feels way too punishing, and you usually die because you get clipped by one attack, or like and then he just outright murders you. But yeah. So yeah, and like cross slash and some like other attacks which he has kinda come out too fast, and like they look kinda unnatural, because he's executing those attacks so fast that like you really don't have much time to kinda make out what he's doing. And that's Mikola's hair really, really adds to that, because it just covers the whole screen, so you can't really see what this guy is doing. You kind of have to learn the combos, but like after learning, okay. So, here's the thing: I fought this guy like more than 10 times now. So even now, I kind of feel like, yeah, man, this is a bit too much. Whenever I get to him, it's like, yeah, okay, I might have made a tiny mistake there, but that didn't warrant me getting 80% of my health gone with one combo. So it's just like, yeah, he's too punishing for his own good, but I don't think he's a bad boss by any means. He just phase 2 just gets a little bit overkill in my opinion. Yeah, okay. So coming back to Malenia, yep. Alright, so this is another controversial boss. I don't know why. It's been 4 years, but okay. So yeah, these are the bosses that I consider challenging. I'm starting off with Malenia. So, she's high damage as usual, because she's in the Haley tree, which is a very, very high skilled area. She has the lifesteal, yeah, which encourages you to like not be passive and like kind of out DPS her as quickly as you can, and like her attacks are fast, and reaction time is recommended here, but like if you know which attacks that she's gonna do, it's less about reaction time and more like about like kind of strafing and like rolling at the right time and then punching her, because she has very, very low poise. So yeah, you can like punish her like after a long combo or something, yeah. But like some attacks do have hyper armor, and you can't really do anything about that. And okay, so I'll touch on Waterfall later. So coming to like phase 2, so like phase 2 is pretty much the same. It's just like she has Scarlet Rot follow-ups on some attacks at like the end of some attacks, which yeah, it adds a little bit of more challenge, but it also leaves her more open, and which is why I think phase 2 is easier than phase 1, because she's more open than that. And like Scarlet Aeonia is a very, very easy move to avoid, and it gives you plenty of free time to buff, heal, do whatever you want, maybe pop a rune arc as well. So yeah, but like she's more aggressive in phase 2, so that's something, but like the clone attack as well, I think that's the only attack that's kind of about this boss, because like if she does it up close, you have no option but to like roll the clones, and they come out, like some of them come out way too fast, and it's like the dodge timing, I've never gotten it down even now. I've gotten Waterfall down, but not that attack, because it's just way too damn fast. So your only best bet to avoid it is to be already far away, or like in neutral range where you can like sprint back and like avoid most of the clones. Maybe get clipped by one of them, but then that's not going to do damage. Just make sure that Malenia does not hit you, because if she hits you, the lifesteal is going to kick in. So Waterfall, yes. Alright, how do I say this? Guys, it's been 4 years. if you're still complaining about Waterfall Dance in 2026, I'm sorry. It's just a skill issue. You're bad at the game. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, there are literally so many ways to avoid this attack that, like, crying about this is just... It just shows that, bro, you don't really understand how this game works. And, like, you're trying to approach this like, I don't know, Dark Souls 3, where, you know, I should roll every attack that the boss does. No. That's not how Waterfall Dance works, because whenever, like, Malenia does this, she has a bit of time before she starts the first flurry. So, you know, if you don't want to do the speedrun dodge, which is what I like to call it, which is when people circle around her, and then then she goes for the first flurry, and then she kind of misses, and then they roll into the second one, then roll away from the third one. That's the speedrun way to dodge it. If you're like me, who still hasn't gotten to that level, who's still improving at the game, you can bait out Waterfall Dance, because she does it at, like, specific points in phase 2. I would say, like, at 75-ish, 50% health, and like 25%. So, like, she does it like 2 times. So if you're in, like, neutral range, you should always be in neutral range pretty much against Malenia. You should only, like, go in for attacks. It's better to not be, like, very, very aggressive with her. So as long as you know when it's coming, you should just sprint back, and 95% of the time you will avoid most of it. Maybe you'll get clipped by, like, a tiny little slash, and then you roll into the second flurry. This is a very, very precise roll, but this becomes very, very intuitive once you learn the timing, and you'll avoid all damage. And then it's another not so precise roll. This is more forgiving. You need to roll away from her when she does the third one. And I've managed to do this. Like, here's one thing. I've gotten damaged by Waterfall Dance. Most of the times that I've fought her, like, a little bit, you know, I've gotten clipped by it, but I would say, like, sometimes, like, maybe 5, 6, 10 times, I've avoided that attack with no damage by, you know, doing what I said. So if you're not as skilled at that level yet, you can do what I did, or you can just, you know, cheese her out of it by throwing a frostpot. There's so many options to avoid it. Like, at this point, bro, if you're still complaining about Waterfall Dance, you're saying it's a bad move, you don't understand the game. You're playing this like Dark Souls 3, and I'm sorry to say, but you need to get good. Alright, moving on. Bayle, yes. So, I've found Bayle to be easier as time went on, but I still think he has a lot of... he has pretty tough attacks. Kind of like, his timings are pretty precise as well. And, like, the thing is, he mixes up delays with, like, quick swipes, quick attacks, and, like, quick lightning strikes, which are all, like, very, very hard to, like, keep in mind as well. So, and, like, in phase 2, whenever he has, like, the lightning come down, it's kind of similar to a PCR, because the lightning comes down after he does, like, certain moves. You need to, like, roll more positionally. Like, you need to roll kind of to the left or to the right, so that the lightning doesn't hit you after you avoid the roll. So, yeah. But his punish windows are very, very short as well. So, and the fight is long as well, because it's a dragon. So, with all that, I think, yeah, this is a very, very demanding boss, and I still have trouble with him sometimes, because, yeah, he's very, very punishing, very, very tight windows, but still an extremely satisfying and really, really well done boss. I think he's one of the best dragon fights, if not the best dragon fight in this game, but Placidusax, I have bias towards him, so yeah. Yeah, the only attack out kinda, like, push back on is, like, the Burning Skies attack, where he, like, goes up, there's a delay, and then he, like, swoops down with the lightning, with the flame breath, and then he goes up for another flame breath, and then there's a ground shockwave move. So you can just roll. You need to time roll with the first ground flame attack, and then you need to do the same for the second one. Then you need to kind of roll. You need to do a delayed roll for the shockwave attack, and I think that timing specifically is way too punishing. Like, and most of the time I just eat the second flame blast thing, and I just avoid the the ground shockwave by using the waking up iframes. So yeah, I think aside from that move, this boss is really, really perfect. Messmer, okay. So I could do this really if I wanted to, but like the thing is, I do think Messmer has easier attacks or like patterns. His attacks are easier to uh, roll than Rellana's, but the hard thing about it is that his combos are longer. First of all, so you need to be locked in for longer as well. And if you like screw up one of the timings, he's gonna hit you with the whole combo, and you're gonna lose a lot of your health. So he's similar to Bayle, but like less punishing. But yeah, he's still very, very punishing, and like yeah, there's really no time for mistakes here, and that's what I really, really like about this fight, because he's aggressive, but his combos aren't that hard to roll through. They just require very, very precise timing, and like you're fucked if you don't like if you miss time a roll or something. But that's what makes this fight so good. Okay, Rellana. I mean, there's so much I could talk about her, but to like keep it short, I think she's probably one of the more complex bosses in this game, just because like of the amount of variables in her moveset and like her mix-ups, her like overall combos and whatever. And like phase 2 is a completely different beast. Like she gains so much new shit, it's not even funny. If you're ever in an extended fight with her in phase 2, like if you're using like an equal stats mod, which I have, it's like yeah, she becomes pretty freaking challenging at that point, because phase 2 adds a lot of new stuff, and it is kind of hard to like keep track of her, because her base moveset is also like very, very hard to avoid. But I think she has more time in neutral than Messmer. Like you can kind of get her to like lay off you for a bit, and that gives you time to like heal, buff. No, not buff, heal. You're not gonna get more time than to heal. That's the most you're gonna get. But yeah, very, very high stakes boss as well. But like I think she's less punishing than Messmer, which is why I have her here. So yeah, Elden Beast and Radagon, like Elden Beast by itself isn't that hard, but I would say if it like catches you, and like yesterday it caught me in an Elden Stars loop, and like the Elden piss shower, whatever that he does, that it does, and like it also followed it up with like the holy slashes. So 3 of these fucking bullet hell moves just melted my ass. So if you're unlucky like that, yes, Elden Beast is hard. But overall, like he's it's not that hard of a boss, but it is still challenging if you're like not really paying attention. And Radagon Radagon is hard. Like no cap about that. Like he almost has like a pseudo phase 2 where he gains like a kind of like golden order incantations, and that can make the fight way harder, because he has some weird timings in phase 2, and I still have not fought him in that phase for a long period of time, so I always struggle with him because the timings I feel like are very, very weird. And yeah, I think he's pretty punishing as well with his wind. I mean, he has a lot of windows, but like you gotta be very, very specific with your rolls. Yeah, combining that with Elden Beast, yeah, this boss is still very, very demanding even today. So yeah, Gaius, I mean, yeah, at this point you're gonna hear a lot of the same shit about these bosses. Like, yeah, his punish windows are also like really, really short, and yeah, his attacks require very, very precise dodging. Wink, wink. That's also what we call. But that's also what I think about a charge hitbox. You have to be like stupidly precise, which I hate. That's the worst part of this attack. That's the worst part of his moveset. But other than that, he's a very, very solid but albeit challenging boss. Yeah. It's not like any of these bosses to any extent, but like yeah, he has tight windows to punish, heal, whatever, and like you gotta be precise with your rolls as well. So yeah, and phase 2 does add a couple of new variables, so that's always like something to worry about. So I'm actually gonna do this, and I'll explain that when I get to it. Yeah, Divine Beast. I mean, I really don't have much to say about this guy. Yeah, his base moveset isn't really that challenging as well. It's I mean, if you're on its sides, it's pretty easy to dodge its attacks. But like in any of the other phases, like the wind, the lightning, the frost, this fight gets pretty challenging because there's a lot of variables and like a lot of kind of frost or like lightning or like storm attacks, which can really fuck up the tempo of the fight and make it harder. Yeah, it's not bad by any means, but it does make the fight challenging. This guy is, it's like the delayed attacks are really showable. It really show its face with this boss, and like it gets pretty frustrating when you have to like dodge a 10-second combo to only hit it once and then it runs away. So yeah, that's pretty much what this boss is, but like at least it has low health, But yeah, when it's an equal stats mod, it gets pretty challenging because this guy has a lot of health and he has a lot of stalling moves and shit that makes the fight hard. But yeah, I think some of the attacks that this guy does require pretty precise rolls, and like some of those attacks, if you get hit by them, you're guaranteed to get hit by the other one because it throws off your tempo. So you gotta be on your toes the whole time with this boss. And like the what do they call this? Like the frost circle that like he throws on the arena, which like goes around and then like comes back. You gotta like that timing for like jumping that is also kind of weird as well. Alright. So yeah, Midra. I mean, Midra is like a very respectable, respectful, like solid boss with a solid moveset. Like there's windows to punish, yes, but his combos and sword slashes are also pretty demanding to dodge as well. Like I don't think people appreciate how tough this boss is, especially on like an equal stats mod where his poise and health are like higher. He becomes hard because like it is hard to keep up with the tempo of the combos, even though they are not that complex. But like you can't really make a mistake with this guy because his damage will fuck you up if you do. Scadutree Avatar. I mean, like the Scadutree Avatar, it's like a lot of variable moves between the three phases. Like in phase 2, it starts off with like the rush attack, like the freaking where it like rushes at you throughout the arena like 3 times. And like overall like the vine attack and whatnot, they require pretty precise timing and whatnot. And it's like a battle of attrition, so you gotta like bear through it and like not screw up, because like if you do, you're gonna get hit with the follow-up, which is usually like a vine attack or like a delayed tree swing. And like the nuke in phase 3 is also very hard to roll. Like it requires very precise rolling. I've only managed to dodge it once, and the way that you roll it, from my understanding, is you roll according to the sound cues. That's when you roll. But like other than that, this boss is it's pretty demanding. And like behind that, I would put Godfrey and Hoarah. I think Godfrey, I mean like he has a lot of punish windows, but you can't get too comfortable with him because like he can always like clip you with like a very quick axe swing as well. So it's just like kind of like a Messmer fight, but to a lesser extent. Like you gotta be on your toes, you gotta be pretty locked in. And like Hoarah, strafing is very effective against him, but like some of the attacks that he does, or like some of the wild swipes that he has, are pretty demanding. You gotta like roll them to perfection almost if you don't want to get like hit, because if he does hit you with a combo, you're gonna lose a lot of health. And like some of the grabs are kind of they have kind of weird timing, so it takes a while for the moveset to click. So when you put these two bosses together, I think he's okay here. If it was just Godfrey, I would put him down here, but since it's Hoarah, So Metyr. Honestly, I would put this boss like in probably this tier, but like some of the bullshit that this thing has, it just makes her so insufferable. Like to this day, I have no clue how you dodge that fucking laser attack. Like, that thing is atrocious. I don't know what they were thinking when they were designing that, but man, like, I've tried running away. I've tried rolling through it. Nothing works. Like, what the hell are you supposed to do? It covers the whole arena. And like, I guess you can like kind of sprint away from it in time if you're like on a light roll build, or like if you're like, but like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. If you like use Bloodhound Step, that shouldn't be how you like design a boss. And like, my god, some of the timings are like so fucking annoying. Like some of the delayed, like she spins in the air and then she like drops down on you. That timing I hate that timing. It's so delayed and it's so jank, it's so weird. I don't like it at all. And like, oh my god, and there's a splash damage thing, which I said, let's like, because it's in the water, it kind of creates like a weird effect where her hitbox of like the attack is like kind of spread out. I don't know, it's weird. She does more damage, and like our AI is also kind of broken. I like watched a modder break it down. It's like she's only scripted to do the head slam twice, but she does it 3 times, and like sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. So if you get caught in like once she does 3, you're kind of fucked because you're forced to eat the 3rd one. And like, this bitch just does so much damage, bro. Why does he doesn't need to be doing this much damage? Like, if you screw up against her, you're pretty much dead. Yeah, and like the nuke attack, no, not the nuke, the laser. Oh my god, I hate. Okay, Mohg. Moveset wise is definitely easier than Morgott, but like, yeah, the blood flames in phase 2, yeah, do make him harder than Morgott, but like, moveset wise, he's very, very simple. Like, extremely simple. I would say he's one of the more simplest Remembrance bosses, moveset wise, because there's really not a lot of variation to his like spears swings, but they're respectable. You know, they have nice punish windows, not too long, not too small, just perfect, and like, you can get a lot of stuff done. And like phase 2, yeah, it does add a lot of couple of new attacks, and like, you know, the blood flame does make the fight more engaging, because you have to like actually, depending on what he's doing at the moment, because he has like kind of like get off me blood flame attacks, which force you to like kind of get away from him, but also he has ranged blood flame, which means you have to roll towards him and like be more aggressive. So I like that he complements both parts of that playstyle. But like, moveset wise, yeah, he's one of the easier Remembrance bosses. Like Morgott, yeah, he's probably the most complex Remembrance boss moveset wise, but like, so much of his attacks can be just avoided by correct positioning and like strafing, that I find him to be way easier than Morgott most of the time, because like, even the sword strikes are more predictable than that. And like, yeah, so like, if positioning trivializes this boss, even if he has like, you know, a very, very complex moveset, you can also like bait out his AI to do like very, very predictable and easy to dodge attacks as well. So like, yeah, I think like, he's a victim of like AI manipulation and like attacks which are like easy to strafe. With that in mind, since this boss is really that easy to exploit, I can't really put him that higher. Really solid boss as well, but like, I can't put him higher. So yeah, I feel like people might call me out for this, but like, okay, Beast Clergyman is hard, that's what I'll say. Like, he has frame traps, and he has pretty weird timings, like, kind of like have to double roll most of the attacks, and if you like kind of miss, which you will miss a lot, because he has a tendency of like reacting very, very quickly after he's done with a combo, so that you whiff your attack, and if you whiff your attack, he's already throwing another rock sling at you, and you're gonna take damage. So yeah, I mean, keeping that in mind, it is kind of hard to like get damage on this guy, and like, so as a result, his poise is also like harder to kind of break. But yeah, like, staying under him, if you are lucky, you can stay under him, which will make you avoid a lot of attacks. But like, yeah, he is pretty punishing. Maliketh is very, very easy. That's what I've learned after fighting him so many times. It's like, I can nearly get through the fight without almost like by no hitting him, which, yeah, I mean, there's very, very few places in his combo where I take damage, or like you can very very easily get him to the edge of the arena as well, where he can't really jump on the pillars and like throw the Destined Death slashes at you. So that just makes the fight even easier. And I mean, he has so many openings to, you know, for you to whack him, and like his attacks are, and as I said, very very predictable to dodge as well. You just gotta like know the timings, and like, yeah, you're pretty much set. So Radahn, yeah, I mean, like, Radahn is all right, you know. He has a couple of pretty weird timings with some of his attacks, which do take a bit of it. They still catch me off guard sometimes. And like the wind up on some of his attacks are pretty misleading now. Yeah, I still get roll caught by them, but like some of the gravity attacks, where, you know, there's like a gravity shockwave coming towards you. You can jump them if they're far away, but like if you're close to them, they require a very very precise roll. So I think, yeah, pretty average difficulty boss, but like some of the more precise timings makes him kind of a formidable challenge. Same with Godrick, really. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of points about this boss which, I mean, base moveset wise, I think he's probably harder than Starscourge, but like, yeah, there's like just so many opportunities for you to punish him that like it really doesn't matter. And yeah, I mean, aside from like a couple of high demanding rolls, I mean, yeah, just like the strafe opportunities, the heal opportunities, and the punish opportunities, you will never really find this boss to be that hard. But you know, he is surprisingly hard for being like the first major boss of a Souls game. And Placidusax, I mean, yeah, like, he's pretty easy. Because like the like, whatchamacallit, his base attacks aren't really that hard to dodge, and they leave you plenty of time to like heal, punish him, do whatever. He has a lot of stalling attacks, but like that's kind of the charm of the fight. You kind of have to like appreciate the spectacle and like whatever is going on in the arena. You have to be immersed by the fight, but like I think that makes the boss pretty easy as well. And like, yeah, the claw swipes and the teleporting is intimidating when you first run into him, but after you learn the timings and like you know what he's gonna do, it's not really hard. It's pretty easy, and that's why I had him here. So yeah, I mean, all these bosses, like, save for maybe Romina. Actually, you know, yeah, let me do this. Because like Romina is she has an average difficulty moveset. Like, some of her attacks are kinda I guess demanding to roll, and that would like put her on this tier list. But like a lot of her other attacks are also like pretty easy to roll. But like, I'd say like her phase transition attack, where she like summons the butterflies. Yeah, if she does that when you're close, you're fucked. And she yeah, does have an opportunity to do that. But like, yeah, this is another boss where she gives you a lot of time to heal and to like hit her, to whack her with your sword or whatever. So yeah, I respectfully can't really put her any higher than this. But yeah, you know, like, moveset wise, I think she's decent. Yeah, and like, I just found out that you can't jump some of her attacks, so that just makes her even easier. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go through all three of these guys, and like, these guys have very very easy movesets. It's just that they just hit like trucks. So you just need to be, you know, mindful about where you're rolling, and you kind of have to, like, for Fire Giant, you know, some of the flaming orbs, you kind of have to be mindful of where they are, because they can like explode and then take half your health bar. So besides that, I don't think these guys have very very easy movesets. So yeah, I think Fire Giant, yeah, moveset wise, I think he's above both of them. And like Fortissax, like the annoying lightning that he imbues on your character, and like that kind of forces you to like play passively, is kind of shitty. And like, I think Ancient Dragons, like him, yeah, like some of the lightning shockwave attacks are pretty annoying to roll. That's why I have him above Astel, who's, you know, I think the only hard part about Astel is like the gravitational pull attack that it does, and then it like slams you to the ground when it like that. I thought at initially that you could just run, that the way to dodge it was to just run the whole thing. But like after I learned that the Falling Star Beasts also have a similar attack to this, you can just do a very, very precise roll to avoid the initial ground, the gravity pull-up, and then you just gotta sprint away to avoid the when it actually slams everything to the ground. So, but I think that timing on its own is pretty precise, which is why I have it here. But like other than that, this thing is a very, very free boss, and like yeah, I mean, Rykard is a gimmick boss, let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, he's a challenging gimmick boss because in higher new game cycles, his damage does go up. And like some of the Rancor skulls and like the ground pull-up and all the other bullshit that he has, yeah, the damage gets compounded. And the damage is the main thing about Rykard. Like he can like fuck you up very, very quickly in higher new game plus cycles. So yeah. An Ancestor Spirit, yeah, it's like, you know, yeah, it has a very, very basic and easy to avoid moveset, but it still has, you know, a sort of moveset, which, you know, that requires you to kind of lock, no, not lock, and, you know, kind of pay attention to the fight and not like look at a video while you're doing it, while you're fighting it. But Rennala, I mean, like, bro, she has no poise, no health, and like her spells are very, very easy to strafe most of the time, and like most of the time, and her biggest weakness is just running up to her and just whacking her with your weapon, and she gets staggered by everything. So it's like so easy to, you know, I think that's why she's probably the easiest Remembrance boss, because like, yeah, her spells are scary, but like, bro, first of all, like you're pretty much like you know, like just going away from, like, they're very, very easy to avoid for the most part by strafing or like and just keep the pressure on her and just stay close to her. And if you stay close to her, she's like a glass cannon, because not only does she have no health, and even if you give her more stats or more poise, it won't really matter, because she will still get micro staggered by everything. So that's why I think she's the easiest boss in the game, and that's why, you know, that's why all these bosses are here where I think they should be. And yeah, I could like talk about these bosses in like single videos, you know, maybe like an analysis or something, but I think this was fine for the most part, like kind of a brief overview. Yeah, I still think Radagon's the hardest boss. Like he's harder than some modded bosses that I've fought, which really goes to show that yeah, they pushed the boundary of Souls combat really, really far with this boss, and to an extent I saw their design philosophy where FromSoft was going with it, but on the other hand I think it was too much. Not in the sense that like, because he's not even the most complex boss moveset wise, it's just some of the bullshit that he has in like phase 2, it just makes the fight tedious and like artificially difficult is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but I still think he's a very, very excellent boss. It's just I think the fight is too long for its own good. So yeah, I think that'll do it for me. Alright, okay, UI. Oh,